And we are live. Hello, everybody. Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me? Okay. All right. So, here we are. Nothing to do but talk about this. Nothing to do. As much as we don't want to, we got to talk about it. So, I streamed for an hour last night, and I said that I was going to stream for another hour today because I usually stream for a couple hours after games no matter what. But we've gotten some news, and now yesterday's game feels like we don't even give a crap about that game. Like, even if we had won that game with Gino, we would be still feeling terrible today. So I'm not even going to really expect anybody to be thinking about that game right now. So we're going to go ahead and just dive right into the news that we got today. Russell Wilson did indeed have some devastating injury to his finger, and he's already had surgery on it. And he is going to miss 4 to 8 weeks. Now, the team is hopeful that he can be back in time for the Packers game, which would be about 4 weeks, because we have 3 games and a bye week before the Packers game. However, it seems to me that a more likely timetable would be 6 to 8 weeks based off what I'm hearing. So that Packers hope might just be this team being hopelessly optimistic. And this is not really the time or place to be optimistic about anything because everything is such a disaster right now. But I guess points for trying. So we got Geno Smith for at least 3 games, possibly, possibly 6, possibly 7, and you add it all up, and I think we know where this is going. I think we know where this is headed now, not just for this season, but for the future of this team. But before we get into the more in-depth discussion of that, before we get into taking viewer questions, I want to say, there are already 45 people in here, so I'll go ahead. Thank you for coming out to this stream tonight. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. We have a very bold subscriber goal. We're going to need over 700 more subscribers if we want to get to 6,500 by the end of the month. It's going to take a lot of work. I need your help. We also have memberships open. You can see over to my left, we have a bold membership goal. We need 12 more members before the end of the month. So if you have $2 or $5 a month to spare, you can become a channel member. I appreciate it. It helps keep the channel going. And I'm going to need all the help I can get to finish my member goal for October. And finally, the tip jar is back. The tip jar was popping off last night, and I need it right now because this team depresses me. This is the part that sucks about being a devoted fan of a team. There's no guarantee of your team being good. No matter how long they are good for, no matter how sure you are that they're making the right moves or any of that, you might run into a situation like this. And yeah, last night you guys turned out, supported me big time, sending me money. I appreciated every last bit of it. And I would appreciate it again tonight if you guys are feeling so generous, because maybe I'll make enough money that I can go sign a good center or sign a good cornerback. Maybe I can use this money to go convince, I don't know, Pat Mahomes to come here. I don't know. But I'm going to try to be a little more composed than I was yesterday, and I can't promise it, though. I'm still sad today, but I'm going to start by saying that there is so much about this beyond just the surface level that really, really angers me. But obviously, the surface level is bad enough. But this is a distraction from how bad this defense is. I look at all this stuff and I just see a distraction from a defense that has given up 450 yards in 4 straight games. And Pete is trying to tell us that everything's fine. Or, well, he didn't say everything's fine. He's saying now that, okay, things are not fine, but I'm still not going to do anything. I'm not going to fire anybody. I'm not going to bench anybody. I'm not doing anything different. I'm angry about the fact that Ang Pandey, welcome to the channel membership team, buddy. Welcome. Appreciate it. Member number 69 right now. Congratulations, buddy. Appreciate the support. It's a distraction from how bad a job Pete is doing. And I'll tell you guys what I think right now. I'll tell you guys exactly what I think right now. This is going to be an excuse for Pete Carroll. Carroll is going to, whatever we do this season, and I don't think it's going to be good, but this is going to be an excuse for Carroll to use to keep his job. If there was any possibility of him losing it, he's going to be able to use this to keep it. That's what I think. It's going to distract from how bad the defense is. It's going to distract from how dysfunctional this team is. It's going to distract from all this stuff. And you're gonna see the same stuff next year. So I kind of just feel like things are hopeless right now. I have no hope. I don't have a lot of hope right now. And I think it's going to be a while before things necessarily get better. Because Carroll has now bought himself some time. Honestly, Norton bought himself some time because I said this in my video last night. I stand by it. The defense is not the reason why we lost. The defense is not the reason why we really lost this game. This offense completely no-showed. Wilson sucked. The play calling sucked. Myers sucked. Hey, Michael. Well, of course it matters who the QB is, absolutely, but yeah, that's the thing that frustrates me. This is all going to be a distraction. This is going to be a distraction from the real problems with this team. Now, I'm not rooting for this because I'm a fan. But the only way I see this going the way that most of us want us to go would be if you start getting killed so badly and the players just stop playing hard. You might see you, you might see something like what happened with Wade Phillips in 2010. I don't know how many of you guys remember the 2010 Cowboys, but they started 1-5 and they lost their quarterback and they were a complete disappointment. They were falling apart. They were a complete train wreck. And Jerry Jones came out and said, "I'm not firing Wade Phillips in the middle of the season, no matter what. I don't care how bad we do. I don't believe that it's a good idea to ever fire a coach in the middle of a season." And then they got blown out by a terrible Jaguars team at home. And Jerry Jones came out and said the same thing. I'm not gonna fire Wade Phillips. I don't think firing a head coach in the middle of the season is productive. blah 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 blah. And then the next week they lost 45-7 on primetime football to the Packers. And Wade Phillips was fired the next day. And it took the players just straight up not giving a crap about football. It took the team completely quitting on Wade Phillips in order to get Wade Phillips out of there. So if we start to see the team get completely demolished over the next few weeks, maybe then you can start to affect some change. So I'm not saying that's what I'm rooting for, because there's no guarantee that even that causes change. But that might be what it takes. I don't know. I will say, I think that Gino can win some games. I'm not saying he can't. I think we can beat the Jaguars. The Steelers are not particularly good. This team could win some games, but will they? That I don't feel so good about, because this defense is worse than it looks, I think, in a weird way. We have had 4 straight games of 450 plus yards allowed, but we haven't had that game where we actually give up 40 plus points. Because you got some turnovers, you were able to force field goals against the Titans. You were able to force field goals against the Vikings. You were playing a crap quarterback against the Niners. And then Stafford was just off. So 4 straight games your defense has been atrocious, but it doesn't look as bad as it actually is, because a couple things went your way. But that 40-point game against this defense is coming. That 40-point game is coming with the way we're playing on defense right now. Maybe that's what it takes. I don't know. But this team on defense right now is a disgrace, and the offense is not doing very much to support them. Like last night, I can't even get that mad at the defense. They suck, but they're not the problem. I mean, so all I can say is all I can say is just sit down in front of these games, watch on your TV, hope things go well, hope you see some signs for optimism going forward, but understand that the ship has finally sunk. The ship is sinking. And honestly, if you as a fan want things to change, then you have to do something drastic to get Jody Allen's attention, because she's not going to do anything unless she feels like she has to. Snacks, I think I saw you in the chat, by the way. I don't know if you're still there, but let me know what you want to do later if you want to do anything. Uh, TJC, they're saying he could, but I'm not a doctor. Well, Patrick, that's the thing. Even if we get destroyed, even if we get destroyed, Carol has an excuse now. Snacks, we can play in probably like 40 minutes or something. We can probably start playing around 7. And here's the thing. As fans, that we need to understand, part of being a good coach in the NFL is finding a way to win without your best players. Part of the part of being a good head coach is finding a way to win even without your quarterback, without your superstar linebacker, without your superstar receiver, whatever. So if Pete can't get some wins without Wilson, then he may use that as an excuse. But to us fans who try to be somewhat educated, we need to understand that he's not doing his job. Who's going to trade for LJ Collier? Young, some of you guys. Okay, this isn't Madden. You can't trade a piece of crap and get something good in return unless you're dealing with Bill O'Brien. Frank Darcy, welcome to the Elite Membership Club, buddy. Member number 70. So we are 10 away from our October goal and 5 away from another emoji. Yeah, we don't have anybody in house who can become head coach right now. We can shove them in, but they're not ready, or they'll never be ready. Ken Norton will never be capable of being a head coach in the NFL. Um, Shane Waldron maybe one day, but not right now. However, that doesn't mean you don't do it. That doesn't mean you don't do it. Like if the players quit on Pete Carroll, hypothetically, then just shove Waldron in and see what happens. It's not going to go well, but that's what you have to do if your players quit on your coach. Well, yeah, sports fan, I want him to retire too, but I'm not going to sit here for the rest of my life waiting for him to retire. If he can't see the writing on the wall here, then you do what you have to do. Remember, Tom Landry got fired, and Tom Landry had twice the success with the Cowboys compared to Carroll with the Seahawks. TJC, no. Fire Ken Norton and make Pete Carroll call all the defense. Like, let Carroll own this defense as much as he humanly can. No, Benjamin, you're missing the big picture, Benjamin. There's a bigger picture here that I think you're not seeing. This is a disaster because this year was in some ways a prove it year for Wilson to see if he could play in an offense like this. Now you're going to lose a bunch of games with Wilson trying to pick up this new offense. That's a disaster. That's terrible. That's awful. So, no, I completely disagree. This is not the opportune time. This is the opposite of the opportune time. I like all these people coming in here telling me that the Jets have our first round pick this year, like I didn't already know. Like, come on, guys. I'm making 3 videos, Seahawks videos, almost every day. You think I don't know that we traded our draft pick? Like, I don't even care about the first round pick anymore, guys. We got to do what we got to do. Well, yeah, I think Wilson kind of sucked last night, but now we can't even really talk about that, but because he got hurt. Brandon I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but welcome to the Basic Membership Club. Welcome on, buddy. 4 members away from another emoji, guys. 4 more members. Look, I'm not ruling out we can win a game or two with a Geno, but what is it for? Who cares? Oh, no, 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 no. Seahawks 808. You misunderstand me. I don't. I'm more concerned about this team doing what they need to do to move forward. Oh yeah, Brandon, I've been busy. Oh yeah, I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but Matty F. Brown on Twitter, He did a breakdown of the 68-yard Deshaun Jackson play and basically determined that Sidney Jones completely messed up and Jamal was actually trying to cover for him. So he basically said that there's no way you can blame that play on Jamal. Like, what would you guys rather do? Win 9 games, give the Jets a worse pick, and then roll everything back and then run it back next year? Or or would you rather go 4-13, give the Jets a great pick, and then get rid of all these coaches? Like, it's a no-brainer, guys. I know it sucks not having the first rounder, but at this point that's done. I'll give the Jets a top 5 pick if it lets us clean house. If those are the options. Yeah, Jamal didn't play very good, but that play not good. There's just so much stuff that makes me mad about this. Like, we're not going to get to find out about Wilson. I I don't know. I got to be honest, guys. I barely care if we do beat the Steelers. Like, who cares? There are huge problems with this team on an organizational level. There are huge problems with the way this team is run. There are huge problems with the people in charge, and thinking about uh, we're thinking about a game against a bad Pittsburgh team. Like, who cares if we win? Who cares if we lose? I barely care anymore. Yeah, Seahawks 808. Sidney Jones is no better than Trey Flowers. I'm sorry. I don't know why people get tricked by that kind of stuff, but I don't give a crap. I feel like Russ is going to be gone or something. Like, this is going so badly. Something has to change major. Yeah, Trey Brown might start a cornerback, but I don't think Trey Brown's good enough to matter. And look, what I can say, well, yeah, Rams fans, they live in LA. I mean, people in LA suck. What do you want? What do you expect? And look, if you're a Seahawks fan and you actually want things to change, if you want Carroll to go or Norton to go or this or that or the other thing, if you want change, then put your money where your mouth is. Don't go to these games. Don't buy merchandise. Don't give them any money. Come on. Like I know it's not easy to do that kind of stuff, but I'm serious. If you want change, you got to be the change. Robert Henry, thank you for the 4.99. Here's to misery with company. Crazy as it sounds, I wouldn't mind a losing season if it shakes up organization, but hope to keep Russ. I I'm finding it very hard to believe we'll find a way to keep Russ because I have a feeling that it's going to be either Pete goes or Wilson goes at the end of the season, and Pete may as well own the team right now in some regards. I don't know if you can push him out, but I mean, we got to try. We got to try because I guarantee you that somebody like Jody Allen, I don't think Jody Allen watches football. And that's not I'm not even hating on Jody Allen. Like, if she's not a football fan, that's her right. If she's not watching football games, that's on her. That's I mean, she didn't buy this team. She inherited the team by accident almost. And all she sees right now is a coach who has done nothing but win since he got here and is having one bad year with no quarterback. She doesn't think there's a problem here. She's disappointed that the team isn't winning, I'm sure. But she's looking at this as we have a great coach who always wins more than he loses, and he's having a bad year. So she's not going to do anything unless we as fans do something very, very emphatic. Oh, hey Seahawks. Seahawks sent the biggest super chat I have ever gotten yesterday. Surprised the hell out of me. Right guy, thank you for the $1.99. Pete Carroll is eerily similar to Bill O'Brien right now. I look at him more as a Wade Phillips, I gotta be honest. I'm looking at him right now and I'm seeing that late Cowboys era Wade Phillips. Oh yeah, Michael. Somebody's gonna want a quarterback like that for sure. I don't know which teams, but there's definitely gonna be interest in him. I don't know. The thing is, if you trade Wilson, you give you're giving Pete Carroll years of a free pass. Think about it. You if you dump Wilson, Carroll gets like probably 2 or 3 years to rebuild the team at that point, where he gets a free pass and nobody's going to fire him because in their minds they need to give him time. So I don't really want that. Yeah, that's the other thing. Drop Top's right. We can't draft. What are we going to do with the draft picks we get for Wilson? I guys, can you guys use your brain, okay? We have a game in 9 days. Do you want to bring in Cam Newton or Colin Kaepernick or Mark Sanchez or Johnny Unitas or any of these people and tell them, hey, we have a complex offense, this West Coast Shane Waldron type of Sean McVay type offense. Here, learn, learn it. You have 8 days, and then we play a game. Like stop, okay? Just stop it. You're not going to sign a quarterback and have them learn the offense in 8 days or 9 days or whatever. Gino's the guy. Gino is our guy. If you wanted Cam Newton, you should have signed him right after he got cut. If you wanted Colin Kaepernick, you should have signed him when the offseason started. If you wanted a different quarterback, like stop. Stop, guys. Well, Kyle, if you get rid of Carroll, you get rid of Waldron too, probably, because whoever you hire is going to want to hire his own guys. Do you think Eric Bieniemy wants to come in here and let Waldron control the offense? Hell no. Yeah. I don't know about the Schneider stuff. I mean, Schneider probably goes when Carroll goes, realistically, but yeah. Let's bring in Vinny Testaverde. I don't understand what some of you guys. I mean, bring in Cam Newton if you want to. You're going to be running a PlayStation offense. You're going to be running a PlayStation offense with like 4 plays. I did see that, Brandon. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, even if we do win, like, even if we beat this, I barely care. Even if we do beat the Steelers, who cares? There are so many big problems with this team that one game, I mean, it'll be fun to watch them win. And I'll say it again, guys. If you guys want to affect change, then don't go to these games. Um, or go to the games and just chant F Pete Carroll for 3 hours or something, and or don't buy merchandise. Like that stuff is not helping right now. Sorry. Yeah, like seriously, guys. Let me check something here real quick. Give me 1 second. I gotta check something. So, the Seahawks defense was 22nd in the league in 2019, 15th in 2020 because they had a really good second half of the year. Obviously, the first half they were atrocious. And then so far this year, they're 21st. What does it say about Pete Carroll's standards for success that he hasn't already fired Ken Norton Jr. just as a scapegoat? Yeah, Gino did look better than Wilson, but don't fall for it. But look, you fans, some of you fans are so fickle, and it blows my mind sometimes the way you guys turn on people. Like, I know for a fact you are the same people that were singing Wilson's praises up and down from the first 4 games, and then Geno Smith comes in for like 20 minutes, looks better than Wilson on a game where Wilson just doesn't have it. And yeah, Wilson sucked last night, I agree. But then, and you guys are like, oh, Wilson sucks, put Geno in. Like, okay, can we stop giving up on players because they have a couple bad plays? Like I see this with even Jason Myers. He misses a couple kicks. And now you're like, oh, I hate Myers. Cut Myers. Go trade for Harrison Butker or Matt Gay or whatever. Who's the guy in Tampa Bay? I forget. Like calm down, people. I mean, be mad at them. Be mad at players when they mess up. Absolutely. Criticize them when they mess up. But don't go from I love this dude to I want this dude cut because he makes a couple of bad plays. Like, calm down. Do you think I decided in 1 week that I wanted Carroll gone? No, this is something that has been building for years. It took years for me to get to the point where I wanted Carroll gone. It took years for me to get to the point where I didn't think Wagner was worth the money anymore. You know, it's ironic too. It's ironic. The offensive line played really well last night. I think the offensive line played a good game last night, especially in pass protection. I thought they played good. And of course, on a game where the offensive line actually mans up and does a good job protecting Wilson, of course, this is the game where Wilson gets hurt. Like, what the hell? So I don't know what to say about that. I mean, it just kills me. Like Kyle Fuller actually looks like a NFL player the last 2 weeks. Kyle Fuller actually looks okay. Gabe Jackson's played better. Damian Lewis looks better. Um, I mean, the only offensive lineman who's pissing me off right now is Dwayne Brown, and that's off one play. Trade scenario. I don't know, Brian. Stop spamming the same question over and over, by the way. Okay? I'm not going to construct convoluted trade scenarios right now. Yeah, Dunlap didn't play very much. Where are the solutions? There is no good solution other than get this regime out of here and bring in a new one. We need to this team needs an enema. This team needs an enema. This team needs to be cleaned out. It's a, there's no yeah, guys. By yards, we have the worst defense in the league. We have the worst defense in the league by yards, and we're not a good defense by points. What? How is easy any game going to be easy? And honestly, we probably should be near the bottom of the league in points allowed. Have you seen this defense? What would make you happy about this team other than firing everyone? It's hard to imagine any other scenario where I'm happy because these guys have had too many chances. Okay, I mean, just look at it. Like, Collier, bust. Brooks, bust. You trade for Jamal Adams with no plan how to use him. So that's another, basically, top two picks that are a bust, effectively. And I don't think Jamal Adams is a bad player at all. But you clearly traded for him with no plan. Jeff Johnson, thank you for the $5. Appreciate it, man. Well, yeah, Dunbar was a bust too, but at least that wasn't expensive. But I think Brooks is a bust. I see. They can't even keep him on the field on passing downs. They can't keep Brooks on the field on passing downs, and passing downs are where the money gets made. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, maybe Wilson does come back for the Green Bay game, but again, there's so many problems with this team that are above Wilson, that are bigger than Wilson. We got problems with the coaches. We got problems with the organization. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably jumping the gun a little bit. I can admit that, but I don't see nothing with Brooks right now. I see nothing with Brooks. I see a guy who can only play on rundowns, and who that's not that valuable anymore. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, exactly, Patrick. That's what I tell people. Jamal Adams made an all pro team with Adam Gase as his head coach. Think about it, guys. Do we think that Russ being out is a blessing in disguise? Not to see him hurt, but he plugged some of the Seahawks holes. Well, I don't think anything about this is a blessing because we needed to find out if Wilson can can handle this stuff. Solutions, please. My only solution at this point is these guys have had too many chances. Get them out of here. That's really all I got at this point. I'm not interested in giving these guys another chance. I'm over it. What players do I think get traded away if there's a fire sale? Pretty much every veteran who has a tradable contract. So probably not Bobby Wagner, but pretty much everybody else. To me, the only guys who are somewhat salvageable are like Metcalf and Taylor and a couple of like the rookies. Well, you'll never find out. You'll never find out if there's somebody you can get better than Carroll unless you actually try. HDHD, stop. What are you spamming? I don't even know what you're trying to say. That your comment doesn't make any sense, dude. I don't know what you're trying to say. What coaching staff could you see being realistic and productive? There are a ton of guys in college. Okay, Joe Brady. Everyone's talking about him right now. There are a ton of guys in college that you can get who could be good. Now, they could be bad. They could be bad. Austin Roberts, thank you for the $5. This is worst case scenario. You know, Russ' injury is going to be an excuse for Pete. Oh yeah, yeah, I've said that a few times. Bienemy, Brian DeBole, Lincoln Riley. Yeah, Washi. I mean, I agree. I agree about all that, but what I'm trying to say is that Jamal Adams didn't forget how to play football. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Like, Jamal just doesn't suddenly suck. There's something wrong with the way we're using him. Yeah, we can't even stop the run. And honestly, the fact that we can't stop the run even kind of makes me feel like I'm wondering if these players have checked out on Pete. Because stopping the run should just be a matter of effort. We, how is Jamal Adams going to go to linebacker? Like, okay, so what are we going to do? Just let Jordan Brooks go? Never play Jordan Brooks? Mhm. Like the fact that this team can't stop the run, and I want you guys to think about it. We're playing two one techs. We're playing Kerry Hyder, who's mostly a big end, who's there to help stop the run. We've got 18 million, there's 17 million or whatever to Bobby this year. You've got Jamal Adams, you've got Jordan Brooks, and you can't stop the run. So it almost makes me feel like these players just might not give a crap. Yeah, the 2018 defense is the best post Legion of Boom defense that Pete's ever built. And that defense had very little talent. Yeah, honestly, I think if I had to guess, the only way Carroll gets fired is if the players stop trying on the field and we get blown out by 48 points every game. That's what you're going to need because at a certain point, the games are going to be so uncompetitive, nobody's going to even go to the home games except for complete idiots. And at that point, then you get Jody Allen's attention. Then Jody Allen goes, oh, okay, well, I don't want to start losing money, so I have to get a better coach. I have to get a coach who these guys will at least play hard for. Well, yeah, Brandon, I completely agree. He's being misused, but he's still not very good in coverage, and that's going to be a problem that's always going to plague him. Paul Third, thank you for the $10. I don't know what currency that is. What do you mean, us fans? I disagreed with you the whole offseason about the team's moves, and you were not being realistic. You were wrong about this defense for months. Your player analysis was way off. I thought you were a 49ers fan, Paul Third. I don't know why I thought that. Huh. Well, anyway. I was wrong about some things, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm just some guy with an internet connection on my computer. If I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. Pete Carroll's making $12 million a year, and John Schneider's making millions of dollars a year to get these things right. When they're wrong, it matters. It doesn't matter when I get it wrong. I'm just trying to guess. I'm just trying to guess based off what I'm seeing. And honestly, I still don't think that my impression of these players was particularly wrong. You can't tell me Jamal Adams sucks. He's playing like he sucks right now, but he doesn't suck as a player. Honestly, I don't think Trey Flowers sucks. I don't. I think Kerry Hyder actually has played pretty well. Puna Ford doesn't suck. I'm sorry, these guys. These guys didn't forget how to play football in one off season. That doesn't happen. So yeah, I got some stuff wrong. Maybe I was way off on Akella Witherspoon, but there's some stuff with this organization that is making these players look way worse than they should be. I still a team. I still see a team with talent. Maybe not as much as I thought they would, but they are way more talented than they look like right now. I know people are sick of hearing that, and I'm kind of sick of saying it, but talent doesn't mean anything if you're not executing and putting in effort. And right now, like Carroll basically said, I don't know if you guys saw this. He said in a presser, the thing that really upsets me is that these players in coverage are making the same mistakes that we spent all practice, all week in practice working on. So what does that tell you? You're spending this whole week. You're spending this whole week working on this stuff, and then they go out there in the game and keep screwing it up. So, what does that tell you? That means the players are practicing half-assed, right? That's the only way I can put it, right? Like, how can you spend all week practicing? Yeah, yeah, actually, Michael makes a good point. Chuck Arnold might make the call on Pete Carroll at some point, and Chuck Arnold does care about this stuff. But Chuck Arnold might be seeing the same thing that I think Jody Allen will see, where he's just gonna say, "Well, we had one bad year. We've always won more than we've lost," and then he's gonna like say, "Okay, let's run it back again." You never know. You never know. Wait, did Hawk's Nest actually do that? Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch Hawk's Nest stream, I guess, if he was doing stuff like that. Uh, well, Brandon, right now we don't have either. I would take either, but I would rather have the consistent player probably. But we don't have either right now. Although I don't think that I don't think that DJ Reed played that badly last night. He tried. Can we turn this around in the next 2 or 3 years? I mean, teams do it all the time. I don't think we can do it with this. I don't think we can do it with this regime. Really, Costa Rican? I gotta check that out. That sounds like fun. I gotta check that out. Well, yeah, Griffin is better than Flowers, but I didn't like Griffin for 15 million. You got to be able to replace these guys. All right, I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds like fun. Poor Hawk's Nest. Well, I'm gonna stream for a few more minutes here, and then I'm gonna jump on probably Dead by Daylight for a little bit. Michael, maybe the Dolphins do. I don't know. Who cares about Dwayne Eskridge right now? He's not gonna have a quarterback to get him the ball. See, that's one thing. Like, yeah, Geno Smith can do some things better than Wilson does, but he's got a very mediocre deep ball. Not even mediocre. Not even mediocre. So that's a problem right there. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. Oh boy. I did not sleep well last night. I'm not hating on Geno, but he is what he is. Geno Smith is a guy who turns the ball over a lot. He's got little to no accuracy on his deep ball, and we're going to miss those qualities. Chuck Arnold is the president of our team, Derek Sanchez. John Ruiz, are you. What? What are you talking about, dude? Yeah, because Peyton Manning was perfect in every other area of the game. And by the way, Peyton Manning in his prime could throw the deep ball. Peyton Manning in his prime knew how to throw the deep ball. You think DK will stay? I have no idea, consumer. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Champagne. I don't know, guys. The things I'm seeing right now with this organization are ugly. I'm. And I feel like no amount of players are going to dig us out of this hole. That's why I that's why I push back so hard on the idea of going out to get these mediocre players. Like somebody in the chat last night was saying we should go get Bruce Irvin, and Bruce Irvin, like, what's he gonna do to fix any of this? What's Bruce Irvin gonna do? You know, Peyton Manning's not gonna leave his cushy, easy job with ESPN, where there's no risk of getting fired unless you do a Hawk's Nest on live TV. Yeah, Joe Pesci, we are overdue for a rebuild. We are. But we didn't get to do it on our terms. So we're going to be rebuilding without a draft pick. We're going to be rebuilding with a geriatric coach. Like, we're not rebuilding from a position of strength. We're rebuilding from a position of great weakness, where we don't have picks, where we have a GM that hasn't drafted well in 8 years, a coach who hasn't been developing players the way he used to for years. And that's the problem. If you're going to rebuild, then do it in a situation where you're actually able to constructively rebuild. This is not the right place to do a rebuild. No, not Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers would have to fly in here and learn the offense in like a week. There's no way he would be able to do it. Of course I am Costa Rican. Why wouldn't I? Why would I even consider not? He's one guy that I actually really like to work with. Of course, I'm going to work with him. I got at the end of the day, Gino's the guy, and I guess I can live with that. But I mean, if you wanted a different backup QB, you should have done it in the offseason. And the problems with this team are so much higher than backup QB. I barely care. What if we win with Gino? Cool, but it doesn't solve the problem. I don't believe in Jalen Hurts, and I don't know why. For some reason, I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be good, and I have no real reason to believe that. But I just don't like him. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up. We've got 216 people in here. I want to say thank you to everybody who came out today. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. Become a channel member for $2 or $5 a month, and donations via Super Chat are always appreciated. They show up in the tip jar. But I'm going to go for like a couple more minutes here, and then I'm going to jump on Dead by Daylight. So if you guys want to watch me play Dead by Daylight for a little bit, you can do that. If not, then I'll see you next Seahawks stream. Well, Joe Pesci, the thing is, the average fan, like think about the average Seahawks fan. Not you, not me, not the people who digest my content. Think about all these things, okay? And think about the average fan who just watches games every Sunday for 3 hours and then doesn't think about the team until they're on the screen again. They don't think about these things. They don't think about things like that. All they see is, oh, we have a winning record every year with Carroll and Wilson. Why would we need to do anything differently? Oh, we don't have our quarterback this year. Of course we're losing. That's what the average fan thinks. Those guys are not going to get mad. They're going to say, oh, well, what do you want Carroll to do? We don't have our quarterback. So I don't know if I can agree with that. We're outraged. The fans that really pay attention to this stuff are outraged. But the average fan is just going to be content going to every home game and buying overpriced food and overpriced merchandise and getting 3,000 shirts and jerseys, and because in their minds this is just a bad year that is excusable. It's not, but in their mind it is. In their mind they're just like, oh, well, we'll get them next year. Nothing to be mad about. I don't want to see anybody as the defensive coordinator. I want to see Carroll control the defense. Yeah, Michael, I saw that too. Although he was getting hit as he threw it, I'm not that mad about it. Matt Fuzz, probably pretty low, but it all depends on what happens next. I mean, what if we go out there next week against Pittsburgh and lose on national TV like 60-7 or something? Then maybe now you're talking. But unless you start getting murdered, nah. And look, there's nothing wrong with being a casual fan. Do you think we lose every game until Wilson's back? No, I don't. But I barely care. Jim Harbaugh can barely cut it as a head coach in college football. Why would I want him as an NFL head coach? No, Seahawks Productions, Pete Carroll is not going to take a defensive coordinator job. No. Just no. Uh, Thank you, Jake. Yeah, the clock management in that last drive of the half was terrible. But some of that is on Wilson, too. Wilson should have used the timeout or snapped it quicker. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this stream. I'll see you guys in a few minutes on Dead by Daylight. But, yeah, things are bad right now. And I don't know how soon things are going to get better. But I'll see you guys in a little bit. Go Hawks, but not a good day. Not a good day. Not a good time.